Let's go back to one of our top stories for tonight, where Free State residents have been left destitute by heavy rains in Pieter Swart in Bloemfontein. 12 households in the area have been affected, while several houses in different areas have also been flooded. For more on this, we're now joined by Free State Red Cross manager Claudia Mangwegape, and she joins us via our telephone line. Claudia, thank you so much for joining us this evening here on SABC News. I mean, we saw the visuals a bit earlier on when it comes to the floods, which have wreaked havoc in some of the homes in Bloemfontein. Perhaps if you could just tell us, how bad were the rains in that area?
We have experienced quite heavy rains in the Free State province. And if you remember quite back from the 6th of December, we did experience some strong winds within the Free State province. And as a result, we had houses that were completely blown away by the strong winds, including rain as well. Some of the houses flooded. And then from the 24th up until the 31st, we also experienced some heavy rain, downfall rain, and within the province. But the areas that were affected in the province was Bloemfontein and other surrounding towns. But in the Bloemfontein area, the Swart was one of the badly hit, as we did experience that some of the houses were flooded.
Claudia, our reporter says that at least 12 families have been affected, but also goes on to say that there are many others in Bloemfontein. Perhaps if you can just give us a number, how many people have actually been affected by these floods?
In Pieter Swart, we managed to assess close to 12 households, and then Bergman Square, we assessed 8 households, and then in Kalakmantabi there were close to 30 households that were affected that we have assessed, but we have not completed our assessment yet. And then from the 6th, in terms of the strong winds, within Free State, we had close to 147 households that were affected.
And we also understand that, some of these homes are now not even livable. They're not conducive for families to even live in those homes. When it comes to perhaps plans, or interventions being made to move these families, are there interventions there?
Yes, we did have some interventions, because remember, once we have a disaster, there will be a joint operation center that is activated immediately. So that was done, and as a result, we did try to evacuate some of the communities that side, but they refused, because now they were fearing that some of their valuables will be stolen, because we know with every disaster there will be a criminal element that comes forth. So they refuse to be evacuated, but we keep on going to make sure that we assess, we check in terms of what kind of humanitarian relief we can assist with, because we're working with other organizations as well. But other than that, we are having meetings and submitting and making recommendations with the Provincial Disaster Management Center, whereby all government sectors are also part and parcel of that, including other humanitarian organizations. So we have tried to evacuate, but they have refused due to having their items not been stolen. But then we have made recommendations that some of the water that is still stagnant within some of the houses should be drained, and later today, the municipality was there to provide assistance.
And when it comes to the main problems being faced in this community, I mean, you speak about drainage, which will be conducted on these homes. What seems to be the main cause for these floods? I understand that weather plays a big role, but at the same time, is there a proper drainage system in this area?
I think the municipality would be the relevant person to answer in terms of that. But what we have done in terms of assessment, we saw some of the houses are actually at the lower, because it's a flatline area. So we did, make engagements with them whereby they said they will send their engineers so that they can make thorough assessment, and then they can maybe after that intervene and see how best they can assist so that in future when it rains, we are not sitting with the same problem.
And when it comes to the help being offered by the municipality to the residents, I know that you said that you've reached out to the province and you've reached out to relevant stakeholders to help and assist those families who have been affected by these floods. What is the municipality saying here? How will they also then lend their hand in trying to ensure that, residents are in a warm or safe environment, away from a flooded home?
Yeah, as I've mentioned, that they are the ones that actually have mentioned that they will be sending engineers to just come to the area and to make thorough assessments, because even when we had a meeting with the heads of departments, they mentioned that the NBRC will also be coming to the area whereby the disaster has actually, damaged some of the houses, and just to make a assessment, and then after that, I think there will be some construction that will be coming to the area. But remember, as the Red Cross is an auxiliary to government as well, after we have done assessment, we submit to them and make recommendations, because the provincial disaster management center is also an advisory forum whereby we also provide advice, and then they will take it from there.
All right, then, Claudia, thank you so much for your time. That is Claudia Mangwegape. She is from the Free State Red Cross, and she is the manager, just giving us an insight there to some of the residents who have been affected by the floods in Bloemfontein.